Hey guys, so this video is going to talk about reflections. So we're going to start with reflecting over the x and y axis. So if we take a look at a point, say we want to reflect the point 2, 5. So let's say we want to reflect that over the y-axis. Okay, so we'd have to graph that point 2, 5. And then to reflect it, we want to count to the y-axis, 1, 2, and then count the same amount the other way, so 1, 2. Okay, so our new point then, after the reflection, would be -2, 5. Okay, so let's say that was point A that we reflected. Then our new point would be A prime. We use that notation to denote our new coordinate. Okay, so let's take a look at if we reflected that over the x-axis. So if we were reflecting it over the x-axis, that would change our new point. Okay, so now we want the x-axis. We would count to the x-axis, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be our new point, and again, we would use that same notation, and that new point is 2, -5. Okay, but we're not just reflecting over the x and y axis. So what we're also going to be doing is horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, so remember, horizontal lines, okay, can be anywhere on our graph, and if we take a look, the equation of this line would be y equals 2, because any point on this line has a y value of 2. Okay, now this one, for a vertical line, that one's going to be x equals 3, because any point on that line has an x value at 3. Okay, so that's how we determine whether it's vertical or horizontal. And this is what our equations would look like, y equals and x equals. Okay, so when we reflect over that line, it's the same as reflecting over the x and y axis. You want to count to the line, and then the same amount the other way. Okay, so our last reflection is over the line. Well, let's do an example. Over the line y equals 3. So if we have y equals 3, y equals 3 is up here. We would draw our horizontal line. And we have the point 3, 1, 3, -1. So same thing when we reflect over the x and y axis. We're going to count to our line of reflection, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other way, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that new point, let's see, that new point is 3, 7. Okay, so let's do one last example. Okay, so on this last example, we want to reflect the triangle over the line y equals x. So when we're reflecting over that line, we'd have to draw that line. Okay, and the y equals x, remember, has a slope of up 1 over 1, so that can help you find that line. But to reflect it, remember, take a look at the equation. Okay, if we look at y equals x, our y comes first. So to reflect, we're going to take our y first, and then our x. Okay, so for each of these points, my new one is going to just flip the x and the y. So -1, 2, s is now going to be -1, 5, and r is -4, 5. So now we can plot those. So -1, 2, that's my t prime, and then s is -1, 5, so that's s prime. R is -4, 5. Oops. And then we can draw our triangle. So that would be reflected over the line y equals x. So remember with y equals x, oops, that's where we want to switch the x and the y. Okay, please let me know if you guys have any questions. That's it for this video. Just feel free to come see me if you guys have questions on reflections.